Ukrainian armed forces today downed 4 Russian helicopters in 18 minutes in the south of the country. Between 8:40 and 8:58 a.m., anti-aircraft missile units of the Ukrainian Air Force managed to hit the Russian aircraft, it is claimed. Combat work is being carried out on 2 more helicopters, so it is likely that the number of downed helicopters will increase, the Air Force said in a press release. It is claimed 1 Russian helicopter, believed to be a Ka-52, crashed in territory recently liberated from Russian-backed militants, while the rest fell behind enemy lines. The helicopters were said to be providing fire support to the ground occupation forces in the southern direction when they were shot dead. The claim was partially confirmed by pro-Russian sources on the messaging app Telegram. Russian troops in Ukraine's occupied Kherson region are engaged in mass theft of medical equipment and ambulances in a bid to make the area uninhabitable, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said on Friday. Ukrainian troops gathered near Kherson, prompting Russian officials to evaluate many people. Kherson is one of 4 territories that Moscow claims as part of Russia. The occupiers have decided to close the medical institutions in the cities, take medical equipment, ambulances, everything. They pressure the doctors who are still there to move to Russian territory, Zelenskyy said. Russia is trying to make the Kherson region a no-man's land, he added in an evening video address, saying pro-Moscow forces realized they couldn't defend the city and were therefore taking what they could. According to the Kyiv Independent, Russian propagandists brag about the suffering and deaths of Ukrainian civilians caused by the Russian attack. The initial taboo on using the word war has been lifted, and the Kremlin mouthpiece now describes Russia's invasion of Ukraine as a holy war and a repetition of the so-called Great Patriotic War, a Soviet term coined to glorify the Soviet Union's conflict with its former ally Nazi Germany. Russian propagandists now routinely call for total war, wiping Ukrainian cities off the map, continuing the destruction of civilian infrastructure, killing civilians, and even killing Ukrainian children. Russian propagandists on TV and social media pose as individuals with independent opinions, but act as a coordinated network. The people behind calls to destroy Ukraine are usually employed by state-owned or pro-Kremlin media. Russian occupiers have lost 4 helicopters, 1 plane, and more than 600 military personnel over the past 24 hours. On the last day, the enemy continued to shell Ukrainian positions using artillery, mortars, and tanks. The enemy launched 6 airstrikes. Ukrainian air defense units shot down another enemy Ka-52 Alligator attack helicopter in the Berislav district of the Kherson region. Ukrainian rocket and artillery units completed 330 firing missions. They attacked logistics centers and field ammunition depots, groupings of enemy personnel and equipment, and enemy firing positions. According to preliminary data, Ukrainian troops killed 10 Russian soldiers and destroyed the zalenskyy heavy flamethrower, twin Grad rocket launchers, 2 MSTS self-propelled howitzers, 3 tanks, and 2 infantry fighting vehicles. The enemy tried to carry out offensive operations in the Bakhmut and Avdiivka directions, while the Ukrainian armed forces repelled attacks near 5 settlements. Also, the air defense forces destroyed 30 enemy targets, including 4 helicopters. This is stated in a war update released on Facebook by the Ukrainian General Staff, reports Ukrinform. At the same time, it was noted that the enemy fired on the positions of our troops along the line of contact, carried out positional engineering equipment and lines of defense in a certain direction, and carried out aerial reconnaissance. Thus, the objects of infrastructure and civilian environments in more than 40 settlements were attacked by enemy forces, including in the territories of Mykolaiv, Vinnytsia, Cherkasy, Cherniakiv, Bilovarivka, Spern, Pavlivka, Myrnii, and Davydiv Brid. Each NATO member state continues to deliver weapons, ammunition, and various types of light and heavy military equipment, including anti-tank and air defense systems, howitzers, and drones. To date, NATO allies have provided Ukraine with billions of euros worth of military equipment. NATO strongly condemns Russia's brutal war and unwarranted aggression against Ukraine, which is an independent, peaceful, and democratic country, and a close partner of NATO. NATO and the Allies continue to provide Ukraine with an unprecedented level of support, helping to uphold its fundamental right to self-defense.